All right, so the first exercise that you see, we're actually using the abductor machine. All right, what does that work? That works the lateral part of your hips. I think this is a great exercise because most athletes don't have or don't use the lateral part of their hips or their glutes. And when you don't use it, I think the saying is you lose it, right? So I don't want you guys to lose it. I want you to be able to use it and be effective with it. If you think about the game in general, no matter the sport you play, how many times are you moving lateral? Whether it's baseball, whether it's basketball, whether it's tennis, it can be a variety of different sports. So those muscles in general, athletes don't go into the gym and work on abductors, abduction. They don't work on those things, and I think those things are one of the missing causes of being more athletic. I think if you want to be athletic, you gotta get those hips, you gotta get them more flexible, and you gotta get them more mobile so you can be more athletic. As you can see, it's called a sumo leg press. I know the leg press is normally designed for you to do regular leg press. Feet are in a straightforward position, and you're just doing leg press, which is working the front part of the legs, the back side of the legs. You're working the fullness of the lower body. But this is different. Why? Because most athletes have problems in the groin area. We need you to be extremely successful with your inner thighs. I think that's important because one thing about a groin injury is it's a nagging injury. It will nag you for months if you don't let it recover. But I think the big thing and the missing piece is athletes, whether they're at school or going to the gym on their own, are not working inner thighs. I know when you think about that abduction machine, when I was younger, I used to think that was a girl machine. So we used to pass by that machine as young athletes, right? But now as I've matured and I understand what works best for the body and what the body needs, lateral and inner thighs are super important. Heels, Staffy, heels. Lateral band walks. The way I like to do this movement is I like to get in a squatted position. I think the squatted position, of course, engages the quads. But I also like to tell the athlete to keep the legs shoulder width apart. As you can tell, we're probably working lateral muscles. Not probably, but we are working lateral muscles, hips, quads, all of the lateral parts of the body, lower body, we're working. But the way we're going to keep this thing engaged is staying low. And we don't want to try to step so far out that we're stepping outside our frame. That's the biggest problem with athletes. They don't know how to keep their feet inside the frame. Well, if we can keep our feet inside the frame on this particular movement, you're going to notice how much your glutes and your hips are going to be engaged, lateral part of your glutes. And you're going to feel that burn into your legs, all right? You can do this as many times as you want to, but I think this is an easy exercise that you can do at home all the time. Like most of you athletes should be doing this movement with this band every single day. And you're going to notice some tightness, but at the same time, you're going to notice over time, you're going to get more range of motion in your hips. The name of the game is to be more mobile through your hips, guys. I'm telling you, if you can be more mobile through your hips, you can change direction a lot better than what you're doing right now. So ask yourself the question, do I need this exercise? Because I'm sure majority of you athletes do need this exercise. Please try this at home. Grab, lunge, back up, right back into it, right back into it, right back into it. Grab. You gotta push hard when you come back. Push your leg hard. Bring it up. You gotta make sure you push hard. You gotta bring the knee up too. Here, going back down. Bring the knee up when you push. Bring the knee up when you push. Dumbbell hip hold to lateral lunge. This is probably one of my favorite exercises because of the fact that I just made it a combo move. All I did was take the dumbbell. You don't need a real heavy dumbbell, by the way, because it's important that we're able to sit the dumbbell on the thigh to activate the hip. And when you activate the hip, the leg that's on the ground has to be straight as possible. Squeeze the glute of the leg that's on the ground. You're going to hold that dumbbell on your hip with your hands out wide for about 2 seconds. You're going to grab the dumbbell and go right into a lateral lunge. So what are we doing? We're activating the hip, and then we're working the lateral part of the glutes at the same time. That movement is super important. It's super important because it's required for every sport you play. All right, so the hips, lateral glutes are super important with change of direction, with lateral movement, and crossover running. So this is a great exercise. Make sure you utilize this exercise as well. Last exercise that you see is a dumbbell lateral box step up. The reason why I like this drill in particular because it puts your ankle in a bind. I know we're not really talking about ankle, but it also put the inner hip in a bind as well. You have to cross over on the front side to step up and drive through the foot on top of the box, and then cross over on the back side to come back down. This is a great exercise, great drill for hips, ankles, and of course your glutes. So make sure we trying these exercises, doing these exercises, because I need you guys to understand how important it is for you to be mobile, because more mobile means more athletic.